Hi there, Sharon Thomas here from Established Footsteps Ministry. And I imagine that if you're watching this video, you are interested in our upcoming ministry offering that we're calling Experience Communion. And let me just say, I'm so glad that you are. I believe it's going to be a really life-giving and rich experience. So I want to take some time in this video just to share some of the details. First of all, you might be wondering, is it really okay for me to take communion on my own in a personal setting? Maybe you, like me, before I ever started doing that, had only ever done that in a group setting. I want to point you just briefly to 1 Corinthians 11:26, where Paul writes this. He says, "For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes." I believe that as Paul writes, as often as you do this, it is an open invitation for us to come to the table of the Lord and to partake of the gospel nourishing meal of his body and his blood on a regular basis as often as we'd like. We can come there freely whenever we want. Now, that's all I'm going to say about that in this video for now. However, I want you to know that I'm also offering another video where I go into some more scriptural teaching about communion and what does it mean and what are we supposed to do with it, and share some of my own stories in practicing it in a private way. And I'll include the link to that video in the description in this video right below, so you can access that if you'd like. And I definitely encourage you to listen to that. I think it'll help you to get off into a great start in this experience. But let me just talk practically here about some details for Experience Communion. It's going to last for 2 months, beginning on March 1st and ending on April 30th. You are welcome, if you subscribe, to participate in communion as much or as little as you want. But we will encourage you to do that every day. And one of the ways that we will encourage that, or I should say the way that we will encourage that, is by sending you via email, if you subscribe, a very short blog each and every morning. In that blog, 3 things will occur. First of all, there'll be an inspirational thought about the practice of communion. Secondly, we're going to be working our way through a passage in one of the Gospels that details out so many of the moments of the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. And so each and every day, there will be a scriptural meditation on those verses as we just work our way through verse by verse, sometimes even word by word. And then the third thing that will be a part of that blog is just a prayer starter to help you start a conversation with God as you commune with him that day around that meal of communion. So just those 3 things, and it will be brief. I want you to know it's not going to be some really long blog each and every morning, because I know we all have a lot of things going on in our lives. And so as you consider adding this into what you already have in your morning routine or daily routine of spending time with the Lord, you'll see that it's not going to be something that adds in so much time as it is going to be heart reflection and something for you to just ponder and think on, and for you to take this spiritual meal into your life. Now, you certainly can make it as long as you'd want, but I do want you to know that it's going to be a brief blog each and every day. Now, some of you who are watching the video are also already participating in our 2020 Bible study focus for Established Footsteps Ministry that we call Me and My Bible. And you might be wondering, well, how does that work with this? I don't know if that'll be too much for me. I want you to know it will be an excellent complement to your Me and My Bible experience, because the passages that we're going to be doing in March and April are going to be the same passages that we're going to be working our way through in the Experience Communion experience. So I hope that answers that question for you. But then for those of you who are not a part of Me and My Bible, you might have some additional questions like, well, what is Me and My Bible? And can I be a part of Experience Communion if I'm not a part of Me and My Bible? And the answer is yes, you can be a part of Experience Communion. These things operate separately, and yet they complement one another. We'd love for you to join us in Me and My Bible. It's a monthly meditation on a certain passage. We started in January, but you can join in at any time. And you can find more information on our website, establishedfootsteps.com, about Me and My Bible. We'd love to have you be a part of that. So I hope that answers those questions for you. If you had them in your mind, definitely can do them separate, but you can include them together and they will complement each other very, very well. What about just the practical thought of, well, what would I take for communion? My church always provides that. I'm not sure where I would get communion. You can go right into your pantry and find something that you could use for communion. All you need is something that would represent the body of Jesus. Typically that's bread, and then some juice that would represent his blood, or even wine. For me personally, I just want to share, I eat a very low carb diet. I don't eat bread. And so when I began to practice communion in my home on a daily basis, I had to go to the Lord and say, what am I going to do about this? And he directed me to just eat an almond. And so I have an almond, and then I have the juice that I use, which for me, I brew passion tea. It's an herbal tea. And so I use that on a regular basis for my communion practice. But you literally can go into your pantry, you can go to the grocery store and just get those supplies, have them on hand. If you really want to order traditional communion, you can do that as well online. Just Google it and you'll find it easily. If you have any questions about that, please reach out to us and we can help you with that as well. And you might be thinking as well, what do I drink it out of? I don't have the little communion cups. Well, you know what? I didn't either when I first got started. I just used a little measuring cup, and it was a little glass measuring cup. After I had been doing this for a while, a dear friend of mine, one of our ministry leaders, actually had been to Israel, and she gave me this set. And there's actually 4 of these little cups, but this is made out of olive wood from Bethlehem. And so now this is really precious to me. I use this every day when I take communion, but I didn't have that when I got started. And there are times when I'm traveling or whatever that I don't take this with me. And so, it's not so much about what you take and what you take it out of as are you taking it? And are you communing with the Lord? And are you connecting with his gospel and taking him up on the invitation to eat this meal with him and be nourished in your spirit? So what do you need to do to participate? Very simple. All you have to do is subscribe. Subscribe to the blog, and we'll include a link in this video for that subscription as well. So you just subscribe, and that'll put you on the list to receive that blog each and every morning during that 2-month period. You'll also want to gather your simple supplies to be able to partake of communion each day, and then just make a commitment to the Lord and to yourself that you are going to commune with him each and every day, or as many days as you are going to choose to participate. Maybe you'll only do it several days a week. We want to offer this to you as a way to encourage you and cheer you on, to have time in the Word with the Lord, partaking of his sacrifice for you and remembering his resurrection. Because really, as we proclaim the Lord's death until he comes, we're proclaiming that he died, that he took on our sin, and he has given us life. And there's so many manifold ways to look into that, and we're going to be doing that even more throughout this experience. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. We'll be happy to come alongside you and answer them. Also, feel free to share this video, to share this experience with others. We'd love to invite any and all who would like to participate to be a part. They just need simply subscribe. And while I say subscribe, let me just encourage you as well. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, feel free to do that right now. You just need to click that red button right there below. That helps us to get the word out to people as the Lord leads us to just create different things to encourage people to be in his word. It helps us to share that as you subscribe. We are excited about you being a part of Experience Communion. And so we look forward to you subscribing, and we'll get started on the journey on March the 1st. Have a great day. See ya.